All right, today is much cooler, so with the fuel pump in hand, I'm going to go and check out this Morris fuel pump. Jake's off doing a bit of hunting. What you got? All right, so hands full here. Got keys up the jacksie because I've got to get a bit of a shuffle on to get the Morris out. Okay, so what we got, Mercedes is in the way, so that's just going to get moved, which is what I will do now. Okay, so the reason I'm working on this one today is I want to take it for a run this weekend, and clearly that's not going to happen if I don't have a fuel pump that's working. Now, what could spoil this whole endeavour is that the fuel pump did not come with a gasket. So this is really a twofold exercise. I'm going to check. I'll just disconnect the battery charger here. Check that I got the right fuel pump. It's obviously important. And then when I remove it, take a lot of care and see if I can preserve the fuel pump. So I'm just going to push the car back a little. I'll get it over the hump of the hoist here. There we go. Okay, just oh yeah. Okay, I'll set you up over here. Okay, so what we've got here is air cleaner off, and this is how I tested to see if the fuel pump was knackered. So I've disconnected the fuel line from the carburetor and just shoved a piece of hard plastic line on there, and it wasn't pumpulating properly. What we have down here is the fuel pump, if I can find it. I'm getting in my own light here. All right, so let me try and zoom in there a bit. So that's the fuel pump down there. Now, immediately of concern is it has you can see a hard line coming out of it, going up to the carburetor here, this one here. Is that moving? Yep. And that's going to need to be adapted somehow if the pump is in fact the right one. Also note that it's a fully serviceable looking unit. I did look for just diaphragms online, could not find, unfortunately. But access doesn't look terrible. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get my hands dirty. You're not going to see much, so I'll bring you back when it's in my hot little hand. Okay, we've got some famous last words going on with access to this thing. So take a look at the bolt attaching it to the engine block. There's a little, what would you call it? There's a web that runs between the body of the fuel pump which partially obscures the top of that bolt. So yeah, upshot of all that is that I'll bring this out now. The upshot is that it's now a underneath the car sort of a job. So I'll bring you back again. Okay, slight change in plan. Getting it to the pump from underneath was just not going to happen. It was even worse than I thought. So what I've chosen to do is I've taken the diaphragm off. So literally those 5 screws there, and spring, diaphragm, and the top cover comes off. I've taken a look. This is a bit of a surprise. Taken a look at the diaphragm, etc. That's come out, and what we've got here, because that's obviously the spring, but the diaphragm actually feels pretty supple still, and I can't see any evidence of a tear or any sort of damage. So it's a bit of a mystery. Then there's a valve body in here, and you know, while I'm no expert on these fuel pumps, I might just carefully take that apart in case there's something blocking one of the valves. But that's hard to believe, given it has a really effective little gauze filter on the top, and that's underneath this cover here. So that goes on there. So I'm going to clean, strip, and repair if I can. Repair being unblock. But yeah, so that's very curious. So all I need here is a little screwdriver, which I've got. Might as well show you guys that. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, incidentally, the hard line that I showed you that was coming out of the carb, coming out of the pump up to the carb, the hardware that was attaching it was finger tight. It's a wonder it wasn't spraying fuel out. Okay. All right, so yeah, I just thought these would come out like this. Looks perfectly fine to me. Just clean. It's as you'd expect. It's clean. Okay. So with that going out to the right, this one's at the top. It's pretty sweet having a serviceable pump though. I like that idea. Back in the day. Yeah, it looks alright. Did a little gasket in there, seems fine. I'm just going to clean that all up and put it all back. Right, some clean rag. I'm going to give it a blast of carb clean. Okay. A little bit of corrosion on there, but nothing you'd say is terrible. That's how it went, didn't it? Yep, I think so. Get that screwed back on. All right. Yeah, I thought this was unusual that it would not pump, just as in not even have deteriorated performance. I thought it might have had a really pretty major tear in the diaphragm for it to just lose complete volume. And bear in mind, I could suck on the outlet of the pump and I could draw fuel through. I'm going to double check that now once I get this all back together again. It's highly irregular. Wouldn't it be funny if I was just out of fuel? And that's unlikely as well, because the fuel gauge shows that we've got at least a quarter of a tank. Anything else to clean? Yes, there's this thing here. I'll get this off. Pardon the hands getting the shot. We need a little bit of right, now believe it or not, this cover gets left off until the diaphragm and everything gets put back on, because there's enough of an edge here to stop you coming down and getting a screw out like this, so that one of the screws holding the body down, this is actually in the way. All right, I think we're just about done on that. That'll be it. We'll get it all screwed back down and we'll take it from there. It's definitely not, I mean, there's a little mark there, but it's not a puncture. The joys, eh? All right, that's what it looks like with the diaphragm back in. So you drop the diaphragm in and then rotate it until this little rubber tang, I suppose, is closest to the firewall. That way it locks this pin, the pin that you saw, locks the pin that goes through that center part of the diaphragm. It locks it into the pump mechanism. So yeah, now just get the top cover back on and button up these fuel lines. Okay, here's the update. Got the pump all back together again. You can see down there, carburetor's back on. Yeah, I did take the carb off to give better access. Mustn't forget to run the coolant overflow or surge tank hose. It's just on the floor here. And then I'll be I've left this line in so that I can put that in a jar and see if we get fuel to come out. That's the next step. I'll set you guys up. All right, battery's all charged up for this very moment. Didn't expect it to start. certainly, well, look at that. Well, that's a bonus. Well, that seems to be pretty successful. Fuel line back on the carb. We should have a runner. All right, you're going to keep an eye on it and make sure that I haven't got any fuel leaks. Okay. Bit of choke. Choke feels a bit woolly. Oh no, it's all good. Oil pressure straight away. Hey. Let's go in and have a look. Bit of smoke as you'd expect. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. No leaks there. Oh, well, job done, I think. Just get the air cleaner back on and it should be a tick in the box. I got a little bit of choke left on it. Take that off. Yeah, see, it's got plenty of juice. Lovely. Clutches. I know, gearbox is dragging ever so slightly, as you'd expect. Alright. I'm making you seasick here. Two bolts. I need to do this two-handed. All right, all that's left now is to take it for a drive. What I have been thinking about though is what could have caused that fuel pump to just stop working. Rare, weird. Maybe one of the check valves. What do you guys reckon? I don't know. But it was just as well I didn't do my head in trying to get that old fuel pump off the block. I'm glad I took that approach of dismantling it in situ, because the result is what it was. It was actually pretty straightforward in the end. All right, we'll get on the road. Okay, we're on board. It's idled up just a little bit too much for my liking. Let's get out of here without running into the lawnmowers. Yeah, I think I pulled the carburetor off. I might have upset the spring a little bit. Just It's not returning all the way. Get some aircon on. Just a short drive. Make sure I don't have any leaks. You forget how comfortable this car is. This big bench seat. It's, oh yes, good to be back. Sweet as. I just noticed the Venetian blind at the back's come down. I'll have to fix that. Alright, that's it for this short video. Maury is back on the road and ready for a drive this weekend. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I couldn't leave you in suspense. I just idled it down a little bit. Just sweet as a nut, eh? Barely any valve train noise. Cool. Alright, see you next time.